Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. I'm your host of LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. Today, we're covering a new series. Yes, I got another one for y'all. It's called The Scene, ATL. It's a web reality series featuring different entrepreneurs and creatives within the land of ATL, Atlanta. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe, share it, and also you can leave your comments below. Now let's get into this week's episode. Yes, as I said before, I am covering a new web reality show that just debuted last night. It does feature some people that I recognize from the YouTube streets. Scotty by Nature, who is a great YouTuber, content creator, interviewer, and now going to be an author. I've also have come familiar with K-Star, who is the anchor of the show, and Bando, and that's through Scotty by Nature and promoting the different projects that they have going on. I do remember Bando had released some music or a new song like maybe over a year ago or something, and I really liked it. And with K-Star, there's this one song that's featured on Scotty by Nature's YouTube, mostly with his shows or whatever, and it's called Cock Goblin. I said, that is so interesting. I never ever heard anyone rap about that in that way. So a lot of what K-Star gives is fun. He does describe his music as twerking music and ratchet music. So I'm just that type of person that likes to really support independent work, independent content creators and all that. So you'll probably see me always in the independent realm. Of course I do a lot of stuff that is more commercial and out there, and I also want to support Mr. Scotty because he did give me opportunity on his platform. I was a part of his segment for Young, Fresh, and New, and I'll always be appreciative of it. Anyone giving me an opportunity or a chance. So I'm here to support, and we got to see how the season goes. But shout out to Stylish TV and their new endeavor with this web reality show. You know, I'm in, and I'm going to support. We start off with K-Star, as I said before, that he is the anchor of this web reality show, and he's an entertainer, rapper, actor, and host. I also see him on one of the panels that Scotty by Nature hosts, which is the Chasing panel. I had started watching, I was looking at some of the panels with Chasing Dallas, I think it was, and I got into that show, and then I decided to review it on my own, and really loving that. And now I'm reviewing Chasing Orlando. So it's another reality show that is on YouTube also that I love. So, anyways, K-Star, he does an interview with Trimmy. I believe that is a radio host, or she is a radio host, and he talks about his upcoming album, or it's already out, A Throat Factory. He also shares his background in radio, acting, and independent films, commercials. From this interview, he got the idea to bring a collective around where they all collab with their different talents that they do have. He says he wants to build some type of entire type deal collaboration, and just to see how it goes. And the way that he's going to at least start to form this group is with his album listening party. The first person that Carl's going to meet up with is Delon. Delon is non-binary, androgynous individual. She is a registered nurse, actor, and mental health advocate. Delon is opening up her own spa, and Carl's very impressed. Oh my gosh, I don't know why he said that. It don't smell like roaches. I said, whatever. So anyways, Carl does introduce this initiative of just bringing everyone together as a collective, and mentions people that Delon possibly knows, JT, Bando, and Scotty, and also talks about his upcoming music videos and all that good stuff. So Delon seems to be down with it. I'm pretty impressed thus far with Delon. She did say that when she had to open up this spot, it took a lot more, had to get like a license, had to get aesthetic education, all that good stuff. So anyways, next thing you know, we get our next scene with Scotty and JT. K-Star and Scotty are friends, and also friends with JT. Scotty says that, well, they're going to meet up at this restaurant. It's pretty hood. Scotty's down for the hood and all that good stuff. JT, on the other hand, has got a lot of shade about going to this spot that's pretty hood. It looks like JT is on the bougie side of things, and also she talks about coming from the streets of Potomac. I said, what? Like you're in Atlanta? But anyways, I guess Scotty and JT have been in the same friend circle, but they never really hung out. So they said, hey, it's time to just hang out, do a little one-on-one. Well, JT got to the biz right away and started asking about Scotty and Bando's relationship. Bando, who's also a part of this group too. And she didn't know if Scotty and them were together, were y'all at least flirtatious and all that stuff. Why JT get in her confessional, started saying like, I'm confused. How can Scotty and Bando be together because they're both bottoms? I said, that's quite intrusive. Like what? Look, all I can say, typically those two don't really match in the sex position department. But look, I know of people, I have no clue what either of them do. I think Scotty has mentioned it before, what he did when he was doing another panel, Boys Night Out, I think before. Yeah. But anyways, I don't know what Bando does. But anyways, like, there are some. If there are two bottoms, it's kind of like it made the best bottom win, meaning a bottom will bottom the other person out. I know of that. I have a friend like that will do that sometimes. So anyways, I have no clue, but I was like, dang, that's quite intrusive. But JT thinks that she's friendly enough to ask those type of questions. Scotty's in his confessional like, I don't understand why y'all asking all this, but whatever. Oh, and then she also asked, like, are they scissoring? Let's not go there. Anyways, JT says from the outside looking in, it appears that y'all are talking, but on his side, it doesn't look that way. What does that mean? I don't think Scotty was really interested in having this conversation, but he knew he had to have the conversation, and that's probably why he didn't want to dig in deep. And he knows the nature, even though JT's throwing out all of this stuff about him, and it was just like, say less, less is more, and all this type of situation. Because it's like, if I dig in deep into it, we're gonna go down a path that I'm not willing to go down. That's what I was getting. JT also says that Bando, first, JT's in the confessional, and also to Scotty's face, he's cool. You know, I've known him for a couple of years, but he gives high-level troll energy. What does that mean? Like, what is he doing? So JT goes into that Bando is in the blogger's comments and he's beefing with folks. What does that mean? Like, what does that account to? For me, as someone, I don't know the man like that, what is that? How is this troll energy? But anyway, yeah, he fights in the comments. Well, Scotty says that he believes that Bando has been genuine with him. With the many conversations that they've had and the things that he's confessed to Scotty about, I think that he's legit. Then she goes on to say, JT, that Bando gives clout chasing energy. And he seems to be looking for a moment. And then he goes on to talk about Bando is a clout chaser versus being an opportunist. But isn't that the same? I'm not. I don't see what an opportunist. I don't know if you're trying to say if an opportunist is like someone who's taking opportunity, but I don't get that, JT. But she said it's better to be an opportunist than a clout chaser. That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe you can explain it a little bit better, or maybe open up a dictionary a little bit. But anyways, Scotty doesn't understand where this whole clout chasing thing is at, and Scotty did reveal to JT that he pursued Bando. It wasn't the other way around. So how is he clout chasing? Well, I think that solves it. But anyways, he says that I don't really have anything to go off and to say that he's clout chasing and all that, and I'm just going to be loyal to him because we do F with each other. He didn't go into specifics of what his relationship is at this current state. So then JT's in her confessional because they start talking about this album listening party. and a person that was mentioned was James. And she wants to know from K-Star, like, why is James here? Like, what has he really got going on? Someone who is a potential OnlyFans star. I said, what are you doing? Oh my God. JT got some loud opinions. So I don't know how close JT is to K-Star and also to the dude James. But anyway, next we go to the gym and we meet Bando. Bando is from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Shout out to Minneapolis. My older sister used to live in Minneapolis. She still lives in Minnesota, but more up north, Blaine, Minnesota. So it's cold. They get like 23 inches of snow. No, not the place for me. But anyways, Bando is an artist, an actor. Carl and Bando, they come and work out. While there, Carl wants to get down to a little bit about what's going on between Scotty and Bando. Carl and Scotty are friends, and he does know Bando and just wants to know. He doesn't believe that Bando is gay for real. That's his own opinion. Again, I don't know these folks. I just know the YouTube personalities and what they may have revealed on YouTube, and the most I really know is Scotty. But anyways, basically, Carl asking all these questions about Scotty and Bando just said, "We cool." And Carl was like, "We cool? What does that mean?" Bando said that, you know, the last time that Scotty and him talked was around his birthday. And that's all we got from that. But he did invite, Carl did invite Bando to his listening party, probably some people that you know, da-da-da-da-da. Next up, Carl goes and visits his ex-boyfriend named Henry James. He doesn't know how that goes. Henry James is more of a hothead type person. But he's opening up a modeling agency, and we get to see some of his work as far as different models are coming in to get, we see a photo shoot. So they go outside and talk, and to just get this out of the way, we see that they seem nervous being around each other. However, maybe I could have had a different perception, but in the film shot, we see that Carl's over to the side and we see a lot of his hands, but we don't really see him a lot. So it put me in the mind frame, was he nervous to really talk to him? But anyways, I guess this is the James that JT's talking about. I don't know. But anyways, he invites him to his album listening party, and then also being part of the collective. Of course, Henry was apprehensive, but anyways, I think that he trusts Carl's instincts and is going to at least give it a try. All right, so Scotty and Bando, they meet up. It's been a while since they've actually been around each other. I guess Bando had a birthday too, from what I think that's what I was hearing. But anyways, Scotty gives an update on what's going on in his life. He's going to be releasing a book pretty soon, and he gives the background of him being a writer, and he had talked about his book online, and a publisher did connect him, and now his book is going to be released pretty soon. Bando is still working on his first album. He doesn't have a date. He says that he's 70% done with it. But he also says that he lost his aunt. Rest in peace. And he's glad to have Scotty around so that he can be his light. They discuss rumors that are going on in the blogs. I guess I did not know that there were blogs for the content creators in the web world. Not until probably almost a month ago when I saw something from Chasing Orlando. One of the stars on there, B-Baby, was arrested. And then I recently seen something about Scotty, but I didn't really pay attention because I saw Bando in it and he was like kissing different people. I was like, but I saw something with him and Jeff, and I was like, well, they just released a video, so I didn't really pay it any mind. But I guess there was a lot more to it. I saw his interview that he did with another content creator, Really B. TV? I think it's TV, Really B. But anyways, and he cleared up everything that was going on. So I was like, oh, I'm not a part of that circle, so I don't know what is happening as far as other people. I guess I just get in and out doing my stuff. But anyways, the blogs are trying to figure out what's going on with their relationship. They don't think that Scotty and Bando are really together, at least anymore, because Scotty isn't supporting his music. He's not sharing this and all that, da-da-da-da-da. And Scotty was like, I do. And Bando said, well, you've done enough for me thus far. And Scotty said that you didn't even ask me to do it. I did it on my own. So I don't know what they're coming up with all of this rah-rah. Scotty did reveal in his confessional that there was something that he was upset with Bando, but it wasn't in something that he would be shady and not support at this point. Basically, it wasn't enough for him to leave him alone or not to F with him, basically. And it looks like from what Scotty is saying, like, I'm loyal to the people that I do actually F with. I could be upset with you. Just don't get to that point where I don't F with you and then I just won't care about you. That's what the perception I think that, or the characteristic that I think that Scotty does give or whatever. But anyways, they are kind of like making sure while they're in this group that they have each other's backs. I guess Bando does other interviews, and even though they keep asking him the same questions and he still has the same answer, they still, the people are not satisfied with it. I guess the bloggers or whatever. Anyway, they talk about the whole, well, Scotty brings up that people are talking about, people are saying that you are a clout chaser and all that. He doesn't give the specific person right now. He's just letting it out there simmer. And of course, again, it comes up that Scotty pursued him and all that. It's none of that. Bando feels like he's a genuine person, and that's just none of that. So that was the end of the episode. So I saw the previews for next week, and I'm excited to see Bando clap back at JT, since JT got a lot of mouth thus far. This is just the first episode. I was like, that was just a lot, but I guess you got to keep it spicy and hot. But anyways, so I do appreciate, again, for everyone for coming to my channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and until the next one, peace.